What's up, YouTube? It's Luke. Let's get this cut started. So, we're doing a mid-low skin fade today. We're going to texturize the top, hard part, edge up, all that. Now we're going to start by putting in the skin line, and the way I personally like to do it is I'll put in the skin line first, shave everything underneath it down, get it clean. Then I'll come back afterwards with a light C-stroke, and it's like right below where the hairline is to soften it up, and it just kind of starts that fade process for me. See, like right here. And again, it's just a real light, barely touching it. It's just to make the line easier to take out in that next step. Okay, and then after that, we take the foil shavers and we bald it all down, get it nice and clean, nice and smooth. All right, now let's get this fade started, right? Now what we do is we start with no guard, blade open, and we want to cut about a 1/2 inch in to make our fade section and guideline. Then after we close halfway, shorten up your C-stroke accordingly and use the corners to blend out that line. You keep repeating this process, close, 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 shorter, shorter strokes, and you keep working that line until she is gone. And also, if you put a line back in, you can open it back up and blend it back out, and I would suggest working top down. And we're doing the same thing here on the side. It's just close halfway, light C-stroke, using the corners, repeat until blended. And also, I'll use my thumb to tighten the skin, like right here, to lift up the hair, I guess, and put it in a better position to cut. It just makes it easier to blend so that you don't have to like work so hard and dig at that line. Yeah, it's starting to look nice. Alright, so we go on to the one guard now, and she's open all the way again, and we cut about another 1/2 inch to get our next fade section put in. Then after that, we close it all the way, and using just the corners, we'll start working on that line. And again, it's a real light C-stroke, only the corners. You're just kind of tapping at that line. You don't want to cut into it and put in extra lines. And I say only corners because as opposed to going flat against the head, if you do that, you could put in new lines and make it harder on yourself. And I mean, I know barbers that can, but me personally, I think it's easier to just work the corners. And also I like to blend as best as I can using just the one guard, and then I'll come back with the 0 after, and I'll catch any inconsistencies like this light line right here. Yeah, so I'll start with it three quarters open, and I'll lightly touch that little line, and if it's not taking it out, then close the clippers in small increments and work at it until that line is nice and blurry. Yep, something like that. Alright, now I'm doing shear over comb, and it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but I actually have the comb tilted away from the head to give a nice gradient going into the longer hair on top. And I actually prefer shear over comb as opposed to clipper over comb, or like flicking the clippers off the head at with a 1.5 guard. It's a more consistent blend, at least in my opinion. And then after I'll do that, I'll come back with the one guard open and like hit any little dark spots or inconsistencies, especially right here behind the ear. There's always a little dark spot there. Always, always, always. So that's how we take it out. Alright, now I'm on the top, and I like to start at the parietal ridge, and I do this to make sure it has the right shape going into the top. And you especially have to be aware of the shape for like comb overs like this, because it's an uneven cut. The top is not the same length all over, and both sides have different gradients going into the fade. All right, and then I'll come back and I will point cut to give some texture and movement. I want it to look nice and clean up there and not look so choppy, especially with his hair. He's got that thicker hair, and so it tends to look choppy if you don't texturize it. And with that in mind, I actually, this little trick kind of helps thin out the hair as well as texturize, and just makes the hair easier to manage whenever you're trying to style the hair, and get volume when you're doing that little swoosh in the front. Apparently, I'm vibing. Hey. Alright, let's get this hard part knocked out. And I just go at it real light at first, just to kind of start the line. Then I'll flip the edges over and set that bottom line using just the corners, because the line has to curve with the head, and it's a subtle curve too. So you just kind of want to follow the curve of the head with the corner of the blade. At this point, going in doing the pre-straight razor edge up work, and man, these Babyliss Skeleton FXs just hit. I could probably walk away from this and not use the straight razor, but I can't let that happen, man. I compare straight razor work to like waxing a car. Like, no, it's not really needed, but when you do it, it makes such a difference. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and catch these little baby bangs. And again, we're not raking or scratching his forehead. It's a light tap just to kind of catch those strays. And now on to my favorite part, the razor work. And I like to start with the heel over here in the corner just to kind of get that corner dug out. And then I'll lead out with the point from there. And it's, again, real light. You don't want to force the razor. Real short, light strokes. You don't want the line too wide. Now I'm just doing my finishing touches with the razor. Hey. Yo, this is coming out real nice. But really though, I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below and let me know. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you can catch us in the next one. And yeah, I will see you then. Peace.